Madam. Madam.
Sir.
Okay, start, madam.
Very good evening to one and all. Now I invite Dr. Pravina Madam, Associate Professor, Department of Education, is going to introduce the guest, today's chief guest, Brother Dr. Pandemani sir. First, let us start the program with a prayer.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are on the second day of the short-term course on yoga, the tool for harmonizing the self and the world, organized by the IQAC of Annamalai University. I deem it a pleasure and privilege to introduce the resource person for today's first session, Brother B.K. Pandemani. He is the Director of Value Education Program of Brahma Kumari's Research Education and Research Foundation. Let me start with his academic qualification. He is an LLB, MSc Agri, MSc Yoga, MBA HRM, MCA, and many number of diplomas, and finally PhD in Yoga. All these degrees and diplomas are from various universities across India: University of Madras, Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Tamil Nadu Open University, Indira Gandhi Open University, and Annamalai University. His work experience goes like this. He is a training associate at Sri Avinashi Lingam Kishan Vikas Kendra, Karamarai, Tamil Nadu, agricultural field officer in UCO Bank, agriculture extension officer in Canara Bank. He has authored 3 books: Vetriyin Padayil, Arokya Vazhvirkku Raja Yoga, Manathai Vellungal. He is also the facilitator of self-management system. He is a trainer for motivational lectures. He is a resource person for syllabus and content of value education. He was instrumental in developing the following courses: value education and spirituality, counseling and spiritual health, self-management and crisis management, yoga and value education. And to top it all, he has signed 20 MOUs with various universities across India and other countries. He has association with All India Management Association, Indian Society for Training and Development, Indian Association of Clinical Psychology, Brahma Kumari Educational Society, Raja Yoga Education and Research Foundation. He is a Raja Yogi, a banker, executive, administrator, motivational speaker, mentor, facilitator, counselor, psychologist, psychotherapist, yoga therapist, computer scientist. Such a multifaceted personality is here to deliver the lecture on values for universal harmony. Sir, on behalf of IQAC of Annamalai University, a warm welcome to you, sir. Now the platform is yours. Sir, please.
Respected dignitaries of Annamalai University and my dear brothers and sisters, I am really happy to share few of my ideas on values in universal harmony. Actually, I am indebted to Annamalai University for various reasons. We were instrumental to start our yoga center at Annamalai University, and we are able to get so many degrees, master degrees from Annamalai University only. I had done my PhD in yoga in Annamalai University in the guidance of our present director of Annamalai University. I am really proud to associate with the Annamalai University, though we are having so many memorandum of understanding with different universities in India or abroad. It starts from Annamalai University only. 12 years back, we have started one program, postgraduate diploma in value education and spirituality in 3 languages from Annamalai University. We are proud to say that now we are having the same program in 9 Indian languages. It is possible only through the Annamalai University. Brahma Kumaris are having the branches throughout the world. We are having in 147 countries, more than 9,000 branches, nearly 40,000 dedicated brothers and sisters are there. We are doing this value education service for the last 83 years, but we have entered into the higher education just 12 years back, that too through the Annamalai University ND. We had one international conference on values, and by that the invitation of the then Vice Chancellor and the Registrar, we have started the course. Now we could be able to offer more than 14 courses. Even in MBA, we are having dual specialization, self-management and crisis management through our own university. I am really proud to associate with the great Annamalai University, which is going to have their own centenary celebrations also. Now, let me come to the topic today. We are going to deal what is the need for values, not only in education, but in also in all the professions. Let me use some of the slides for your explanation. Values for universal harmony, I make it into 3 distinct parts. One is harmony within the self. It is because of my own self-development, self-empowerment, particularly addiction-free. And the second one, harmony within the relationships. It means the harmony in interpersonal relationships. And the third, harmony with the nature or the environment. We should have the pollution-free environment for that. This is the concept I want to make it clear through these presentations. Let me start with one basic question. What is the purpose of living? If I ask someone how many lives you are living, normally you will be confused to say, even living one life itself is a difficult one. Then how I ask how many lives you are living? But we are living at a time 4 lives. The first one is the personal life. Second one is the family life. Third one is the professional life. And the fourth one is the social life. See, we are having our own interest in our life. We are having our own desires, we are having our own decision making, and we are having so many things personally. If someone enter into that, we will say that don't interfere in my life, because it is purely personal. And the next comes the family life. Before marriage, we can take decision as we like. We can go to any movie, we can go to any hotel. It is all depend upon my own decision. But after marriage, you know very well, it's not possible. Once we given birth to the child, the priority shifts to the child only. Whether we get anything for our own welfare or not, our focus is only for the credit to the child. Why it is so? Because the children are our own creation. We become the creator, we are more concerned over our own creation. Therefore, we make it happen for the children that they should not find any difficulties in their life. They should flourish, they should be happy, and they should have the contented life. This is our aim because they are our creation. Like that, when we, the souls, are there, God is the creator. He is also having the more concern over our happiness. Therefore, he descended in the body of Prajapita Brahma in 1937 and give this godly knowledge. The knowledge what he is utter is giving the form of value education in higher education. Let me come to the third one, professional life. We are spending most of the time in professional life. In the awakening stage, our most of the time is only in profession. If we failed in profession, we think we failed in the life. But it's only a part of the life. And the fourth one is the important is the social life, because man is identified as a social animal by the Western people. Only the West says that we are the social animal, whereas in yoga, we never say we are the social animal, we are the social beings. We cannot live alone, we cannot renounce the world, earth and home, and we are having our own responsibilities to fill up when we are having our own family. But here the question is, though everyone is living these four lives, whether we are having any harmony between those lives. It is really difficult to have the balancing of all these four lives. Is it possible or not possible? That itself is a question. To take an example of Mahatma Gandhi, while his wife have leave his body, he was just weeping. The person asked him one question, is it Mahatma is weeping? Then he told, Kasturba is the reason I become the Mahatma, because I could not satisfy our wants in the day-to-day life. If it is the case for a Mahatma, what about ourselves? Really, it is a question to think of, but spirituality gives the solution for it. Okay, normally we think that for success in our life, whether it is a personal life, family life, professional life, or social life, we normally think we require the IQ. Okay, let me now share my screen again. It was closed due to some error. So whether it is visible now?
Yes, sir. Click PPT, sir.
PPT.
Yeah. Your screen is
Sir,
visible.
Sir, unga desktop screen is only visible, sir, brother.
Oh, okay. Whether it is now clear, visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, brother. Now it is
Okay.
visible.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience caused.
Now it's
Normally,
visible.
we think that we require the IQ for our success. But it was felt some time back that IQ alone will not do. We require SQ also.
The maximize your
Maximize it.
Yeah. Click enable editing.
Enable editing. Very good. 1 minute. Oh, very good. Enable editing, good.
Go to slideshow, sir.
Slideshow.
Yeah. Otherwise, F5.
F5. Good, it is easy then.
Now it's okay. Sir.
Okay, thank you. Then after some time, it was felt that we require EQ also, emotional quotient. Now people realize that IQ and EQ alone will not do. Now we require SQ, that is a spiritual quotient. How we know that the values are more important? You take an example. If you are going to purchase a dress for us, when we are visiting that shop, what are the things we are thinking of? We think of the value of the cloth or the design of the cloth or the color of the cloth or the convenience of the cloth. So many things we are thinking in our mind. And whatever the number of things it met with, accordingly we purchase the cloth or for the design we want it. But if you see what are the criteria we are using for it, it depends upon the value of it. Here it is very clearly explained here. If you want to purchase a dress just to protect the body, for example, the people who are going to purchase the dress when they are very poor, they will see only to protect the body because of the minimum cost they are going to purchase the dress. Then it is the functional value. If someone is purchasing according to the money available with him, because so many times we ask the shopkeeper that you give the designs which is fit to my economy. It is the one's choice at sale. It is called the economic value. If it is to be free from health hazards, it is the hygienic value. For pleasing color and fabric, it is called the aesthetic value. Some person require dress for easy cleaning, then it is the convenience value. Somebody purchased the dress for the futuristic value. For example, women are purchasing the silk saris. They never use this, not more than even once in their life, but they used to get every year silk saris and they keep it. That is for the value in future, called a futuristic value. For some appropriate social customs also, we purchase some dress. It is having its social value. For example, Om Shanti is always using their white color dress. Whereas Om Shakti, they are using only the red color dress. Therefore, it is the social value attached to it. And sometimes we purchase the dress for the unique fashion. It is the novelty value. And during some of the social functions like marriage and others, we are using certain dress that is for exclusive boutiques called status value. If for some special purpose or the occasion we are using a dress, it is having the nostalgic value. But somebody is having the belief on the color or the design of a dress. It is called the relief value. And to please one's taste, it is the psychological value. Most of the times we see the children ask for a dress which they like it. Whatever you explain for the pros and cons of it, they are not ready to accept it because it is attached to the psychological value. By this, you will come to know for any decision making, we are seeing based on the values only. How many values it met with, accordingly, we take the decision. Therefore, one's life is based on one's decision. This is all you know. According to our decision only, we make our life, whether it is happy one or the miserable one. Therefore, the decision making is based on the combination of values. And what are the necessities of values? Nowadays, we see in this world, there are problems of corruption, bribery, and nepotism. And the science and technology without values. And there are injustice to women also, and exploitation of nature and use of violence. These are some of the causes for which the values are utmost necessary. People are using the intoxicants, they are drug addicts. Earlier days, we are worried about the drug addicts. Now we are worried about the social media addicts. That too in adolescence, to take away from the screens is not possible for everyone. Nowadays, it is a firing one, the latest trend that the adolescents are more addicted to the social media. They are not in the real world and they are in some other world. Therefore, the intoxications also make us to relieve from it, we require the values. You see, in everywhere, it takes unfair means in elections and evasion of taxes and costs of litigation because of so many courts are improving and every courts are having so many judges and the cases are pending for so many years. Even in some times, in some cases, after their death, the results are coming from the court. The justice is delayed, means it is denied to them. And there are threats to the unity of the country also. Therefore, values are necessary. Here we are explaining about what the value means to us. The objects, people, processes, personal experiences, which you care about the most. This is called the value. It may be an object, or it may be a people, or it may be a process, or it may be my own personal experience. But what I care most is the value for me. Second important one understanding on values are, we affirm that a common set of core values is found in the teachings of all the religions, and those form the basis of a global ethic. No religion tells that you have to do injustice to the other. Everyone teaches about the moral values only. Third, and the most important one, we affirm that the truth is already known, but is yet to live in heart and action. Therefore, in Brahma Kumaris, we are teaching about these values without the distinction of caste, creed, color, sex, of any of the differences. What is the value clarification? Value is different from attitude, belief, feelings, goals, etc. It is an area of our lives which meets 7 criteria. This is the wonderful invention from Dadi Janki Foundation from UK on values in healthcare. Here we are using 3 techniques. One is choosing, second one pricing, and third one is acting. Choosing, what we are choosing, how we are choosing. Choosing freely. Second one, choosing out of alternatives. Third one, choosing after considering the consequences. Here, see, if you have only one option, then there need not be any value adoption because there is no other choice for it. Sometimes we used to say that we are between birth and death. That means B and D. Between B and D, there is one letter called a C. You know B, C, D. Okay. C means choice. We are only having a choice to live our life, whether happily or not, whether purposefully or not, whether meaningfully or not. It is based on our own decision making. Choice is only ours. But after doing it, we have to reap the fruits. If you do good things, you will reap the good things. Because as you sow, so shall you reap. This is the basic concept even in value adoption also. Therefore, we should have freedom to choose freely. At the same time, the alternatives are to be available and we have to choose after seeing the consequences of our decision making. That is what we mean on choosing a value. Then pricing, how we cherish the value and we have to publicly affirm it. This is called the pricing concept. And the third one is acting. We have to put it to practice. You all know that we know, we learn, we study. This is the known part of it. From the known, we are moving to the understanding part. And after understanding, we are moving to the acceptance. After the acceptance, we are practicing or put into practice. And after practicing it, we will become the being part of it. Whatever we learn, it becomes an embodiment of us. Therefore, this is the basic universal law. We are moving from the known to the unknown. For that only, we are having an education. We are having the spirituality. Everything is based on the system only. Here, to become or being, we have to pass all these stages. Therefore, we have to act according to our choice and acting with a pattern, repetition, and consistency. Because most of the times we say that we should lead a value-based life. You all know that every one of us knows that we should not tell a lie. I ask you one question. Everybody knows that we should not tell a lie. Even the children are telling lies, we are beat them. We are asked them not to tell the lie. Whether we are telling truth always? Never. Because we are having some reasons for it. At this Kali Yuga, is it able to live with truth? Because we want truth, but don't believe in truth, we can be able to lead that life. Where we are lacking on acceptance. We know, we understand. Till understand, we are okay, but we are not accepting it. That is why no one is practicing. Here, value clarification make it very clearly how we have to adopt those values. The method we are using in value education or value adoption values in universal harmony is the experiential learning. First, step is doing and sharing together. Therefore, it should be a structured learning activities. And the second one, learning together through collecting, analyzing data from our own experiences. And the third step is the planning and acting together to encourage the application of whatever we are learning in the process. Because even in United Nations, it has been very clearly spelled out that we should be the being part, and it should be the aim of our education system. Therefore, in value adoption, we are using this technique of experiential learning to improve any process, whether it is an individual or a group or an organization. We require three things. One is, the first and the foremost is understanding. The second one, virtues to complement it. What are the values to be practiced to make it a practical one, or an applicable part of it is called the virtues to complement. And the third one is the power to implement. If anything on the three is missing, then we will not make any improvement. In our day-to-day life also, we think so many times what we are wish to do it, but we are not able to do it. You take every year, at the end of the year, December month, after 25th, we are making a big list that from the new year onwards, from 1st January onwards, I will do this, I will not do this. Like that, you will make a very big list. But you see how many days you will follow it? Not even 2 to 3 days. That shows that there is the lack of power to implement. Though we are having a good understanding, though we know the virtues to complement it, there is a lack of power to implement. That is why in value education, we add the spirituality in the adoption of values. When we are talking with our university vice chancellor and the dignitaries of the university, like the controller, director of distance education and others, they are told, instead of spirituality, you just put only value education, then there will be more people will join the course. But our chairman, Dr. B.K. Mridunjaya, categorically told that to sustain the values, we require the power of spirituality. Without the power of spiritual self, neither we are able to develop the values from inside out, nor we will be able to sustain the values. Therefore, we require that spirituality in the title itself. Therefore, the program starts with value education and spirituality through our great Annamalai University. Here, the process for which the power we require is more important to achieve our goal or the destiny. Where from we will get these values? Is there any market for it? Is there any bazaar is available? Whether through Amazon we will be able to get it? Definitely not. Because the values cannot be bought. It has to be caught. It was told in value education. It cannot be taught like that. But it is not so. Because it is an education, we have to learn it, we have to understand it, we have to accept it, and we have to put into practice as if a scientific method or the technology in which we are learning the things. Therefore, the values can be taught, and we are teaching these through various universities in higher education. The values are within the self only. Therefore, it is shown here, values from inside out. But we are having some problems of 4 R's. That is called the role, relationship, responsibilities, and routines. Neither of this we will be able to leave it. Being a social being, when we are in the society, we have to fulfill all these 4. But instead, if you develop our innate qualities or innate values, what we mentioned here in the right, like peace, love, power, truth, happiness, and equilibrium, then we will flourish our life. We will have very peaceful, happy, and contented life. But if you focus on acquired qualities, these are based on the experiences we are having in our life through day-to-day activities, the abilities we have developed through the education, and the memories we are storing within the self, and the learning, habits, and beliefs. These are all the acquired things. Here I wish to mention one thing, whether we are having the personality of mango or coconut. Mango, inside it is very hard, but in the outside it is very easy to take it. Whereas in the case of coconut, outside is very hard and inside is very juicy and enjoyable. Then what type of personality we are having it? By that we will come to know that whether we are giving the importance to the values in our day-to-day life or not. Then working levels of universal values. Because when you talk about the universal harmony, these values operate at all the 3 levels of our awareness. One is conscience, second one subconscious, and the third one is higher conscious. That means that the consciousness is the place where we are operating these values in our life. Here I am going to talk only on 4 values. There are thousands of values are there, and there is the relationship between one with the other also. And to have one value, we have to adopt so many values. See, even in negativities, you can see that a person starts with just smoking first. Then after he becomes a drunkard, then after that he will addict to the drugs. It goes like that. One thing attracts another. Even it is in the negative, the same way, even in positives, if you are going to adapt one value, automatically you are going to adapt so many values. For example, take the love. For love, we have to develop the adjustment. We have to develop acceptance. We have to develop proper understanding. These are all the things required to experience that love. Therefore, it is also with the bunches only. We cannot differentiate one value alone at any point of time. Here, I am going to talk or to clarify some of the points on only 4 values. The first and the foremost important value is the love. It is a form of God. Love has invincible powers. Because if you lack love, then there is no meaning in life also. But what is love? How we have to understand? Here, the real love ensures kindness, caring, and understanding. If there is no proper understanding, if there is no caring, it means that there is no real love. Love is being a trustworthy friend. The trust automatically comes when you have the love. Love for others means I want what is good for them. Here we are making it very clear the distinct difference between the love and the attachment. Normally, people think in our day-to-day life, attachment is a love, but it is not so. Attachment make you miserable, whereas love make you comfortable in your life. If I say that I am for you, I am living for you, I will die for you, it is not the love, it is an attachment. I am living for your welfare. I can leave this body, I can die for the welfare of you. If you say like that, then it is the true love. Therefore, we have to know the minute difference, but the major difference of love and attachment. We, the human beings, what is the human being? Normally, we think human being means the body, male or the female, like that. But the body is the humus. Human being, human means it is only the humus, whereas the being part, we are not looking into it, where that spirituality plays the major role. Next point about the love. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. It means when we start to judge the people, means if you see their negativities in them, then you cannot have any time to love them. Because no human being is perfect. Everyone is having some error. If I am having an error, others also will have an error. Therefore, we have to accept as it is. That requires the real love. Then love accepts people as they are without noting their weaknesses. Then love never claims, it ever gives. This is one of the major understanding we should have on the meaning of love. If someone demands on the name of love, it is not the love, it is an attachment. Love always gives and it will never claims. The next, love is universal. It has no limits. See, God's love is unlimited because He is our unlimited Father. When the Father thinks about the children, definitely He will help us for our progress only and not to suffer. Therefore, love is universal. Love that hurts is not love at all. This is one of the major understanding we should have it. If some love hurts us, means it is not the love, it is an attachment. There is a distinct difference between love and attachment. We should know only through this value education. The second, the important value, what we are going to see is the peace. Because peace within the self is much more important for peace in the society. Peace is the true birthright of we the souls. Here mentioning the word soul means source of universal light. It has been acronym as a soul. Then what is peace? Peace consists of pure thoughts, pure feelings, and pure wishes. If you lack any one of it, then we will not have peace in our mind. It is not only the thought, the feelings also should be the pure one. And the most important one is the pure wishes. We should have the pure wishes not only for the self, but for also others. Therefore, peace exists when there is pure thoughts, pure feelings, and pure wishes within the self. Peace does not mean the environmental peace, absence of sound. It is the state of mind. Wherever you are, even within the storms, we can experience the peace. You all know how the storms occurring. The reason for a storm is a peace. When a vacuum is created at one place, from all those four sides, the air rushes to make it fill up. It makes a cycle that is called the thing which disturbs us. Like that, eye of the storm, it is called. EYE, it looks like an eye. Even in satellite pictures, you can very well see that whenever the storm occurs, it will be look like a eye. That means it makes a circle like that. But here instead of EYE, you put I. I means the self. Eye of the storm means I am the reason for my own disturbance. Therefore, to experience peace, we should be able to create the pure thoughts, we should have the pure feelings, and we should have the pure wishes for each and every one. Peace is a qualitative energy. It's not a quantitative one, but its very nature, it puts things and people in a balanced order. See, balancing acts of life plays a major importance to have harmony with ourselves. The harmony is only possible when there is a balance. You take an example of a balance, what we are using to measure the things. If it is balanced, then only we take it as granted. Like that, in the life also, we should have so many balancing acts of life, even balancing of different values also. That is entirely a different subject. I have not covered here, but it is a very lengthy subject, very interesting one, balancing of values. Then the next one, peace is a vital resource and reservoir of the self. See, resource and reservoir means how much it is more important. For any achievement, for any scientific advancement, peace is the source. If you don't have the peace of mind, you will not be able to think creatively. You are not able to think foresighted-ness. All things require the peace within the self. It is an inner silence will with the power of truth. If the truth is lacking, then also we will not able to experience the power of peace. Peace begins within each one of us. It is not claimed from outside. It cannot be donated from someone else. We have to develop our own peace within the self. For that, we require the adoption of values and practice some of the practices in spirituality. Peace is not mere absence of sound, but stillness of mind. This I have already told about it. Then peace lies in our ability to forget the past and enjoy the present. See, if you just check your thoughts, what are the thoughts you are getting in your day-to-day life? You just note it down in a diary. After that, you see, you will be astonished to know that more than 70% of our thoughts are related to the past. Past means cancelled check. It has no value. Present is only the gift. But our thoughts mostly related to the past. We are not only wasting our time, but also wasting our energy. To stop that wasting, we should be able to live at present. We have to enjoy the present, where we require some of the mental powers, spiritual powers to make this happen. Then success comes from the peace of mind. You see, one of the quotation I have seen from Satya Sai Baba has told very interesting about how the combination make the difference. If you think with the love, it is the truth. If you feel with the love, it is the peace. If you act with the love, it is the character. If you understand with the love, it is the non-violence. See, a love, when it has been added in your thinking and feeling and acting and understanding, it gives various types of values in the self. That is the truth or the significance of values. If you add any values with any other values, the combination will give different values. Then we are going for the third one on tolerance. It is the king of all virtues or values. What is the tolerance? It is nothing but the discrimination and acceptance. Tolerance is mutual respect through mutual understanding. Here the word mutual is more important. It is not what I understand or what you understand, but what we understand. The tolerance comes when there is a mutual understanding and mutual respect. Nowadays, the young generation is very much a lack of tolerance. They want everything immediately. Whatever they want, they wish, they desire for it, they want it immediately. But for anything and everything, there is a time. You take an example of any tree. Some gives fruits and within a year. Some gives after 3 years. Something gives after 10 years also. For that, we have to wait. You take an example of a bamboo. First 4 years, it will not make even a small sprit in it. No growth, but we have to water it, we have to give the fertilizer, and we have to maintain for 4 years without any growth or the development. But after 4th year, within a year, it will grow 30 to 40 feet. How it is possible? To have the growth of 40 meters in a year, it has to take the roots to the deeper level. For that, it takes its time. It's not visible in the front like that. To achieve any success in our life, sometimes we have to wait for the time. That means we have to make our efforts consistently and we have to wait for the fruition. The tolerance is the main power very much required for universal harmony. See, there is a conflict only because of lack of tolerance, nothing else. You take even the war between the nations. We have seen so many wars in the history of our country, not only in our country, in the entire world. Most of the wars are based on the religion. That means lack of tolerance. If you practice the spirituality in our day-to-day life, you will have a tolerance to face, not only face the difficult situation, but you will be able to come over that. Therefore, we are explaining this in the second point. It is the ability to face difficult situations. To tolerate life's inconveniences, what it means, I don't like it. It's not good for me, but I'm not comfortable with that. If you have that feeling, let go. You leave it. But normally we people are not leaving it. We are attached to it. And repeatedly we are revising in our mind. We are watering it. We are growing inside the mind. Therefore, mindset plays a very major role for practicing any of those values. Therefore, let us make it let go, be light, and make others also light and move on. Keep on going is the main concept to make our life a meaningful or a purposeful one. Therefore, to tolerate, you have to let go. Tolerance is being open and receptive to the beauty of differences. See, normally we human beings are thinking that you should be the same person like some 10 years back. But it is not possible. Change is the only permanent one. That means everything tends to change. Therefore, we have to accept the change. Like that, we should accept the difference. Normally, we give one of the example of the bouquet. The bouquet is with the different flowers, with the different colors. Not only flowers, we are having some leaves also. Without leaves, the bouquet is not perfect. But if you give a bouquet only with the leaves, we will not accept it. That is why we have to accept the differences. It is not only the gender difference, caste difference, religious difference, or economical difference, or ecology difference, whatever may be present in this world, because the world is full of differences. That means varieties. We human beings always enjoy the varieties. But then why there is a discrimination? Why there is the violence? These are all because we are not enjoying the beauty of differences. Therefore, tolerance means one is open and receptive to the beauty of differences. Then tolerance recognizes individuality, at the same time diversity, while removing the divisive mass and diffusing tension created by ignorance. Here the important thing we have to know is the tension is only due to the ignorance. Most of the times we tell that these are the people responsible for my tension, or this is the situation is responsible for my tension. This is a thing what they have not done, that is why it created tension to me. But it is not so. If you go deep into that concept, you will understand all the tension having the root on ignorance only. And the same way, we are wearing different masks on ourselves. We are not true to the self. For example, if I identify myself with the linguistic, I am a Tamilan, that means it is a divisive mask. Once you wear I am a Tamilan, then there is a Malayali, then there is a Gujarati, then there is a Canadian. Like that, the division has come. If you wear a mask, I am a Hindu, then there is a Muslim, there is a Christian, and others are there. All the divisions are based on what mask we are wearing. That is not truth. That is why spirituality makes us to understand who am I. I am not this body which is made up of 5 elements. I am the living being. If you not only know, not only understand, if you accept that myself is a living entity, a soul, others are also living entities. They are also souls, then there is no divisive mass. The seed of difference is love. It's what is compassion and careful. So what are the things is required for the tolerance is love, compassion, and care. Those who know how to appreciate the good in people and situations have tolerance. See, to tolerate, I should have the habit of appreciating the good in people. Normally, people find fault with others. They are not seeing good in the people. God says that every human being is inherited with one or more values or the goodness in the self. Without goodness, one cannot take a life or being a human being. Because the self is made up of values only. Therefore, to have the tolerance, one should have the habit of appreciating the good in others. The seeds of tolerance are fear and ignorance. These are the only two reasons how we are making the intolerance and we are not able to accept the others. See, one tolerance equals how much understanding, how much deep into the subject to make it of our own self, to become a being of that value. Then the next one, fourth one is freedom. It is possess the inner beauty of the self. Freedom, normally what we think, whatever I want, I wish I have to do it. The society has to permit me or the family has to permit me because it is my freedom. But it is not so. The truth is, full freedom functions when rights are balanced with the responsibilities. We normally people demand for our rights. We are not holding the responsibility. But we want only the right to fight. But the freedom can be experienced when the rights are balanced with the responsibilities. In the same way, you take about the choice. Whatever you want, you can do it. You can take a decision on it. But we should do it with conscience. Therefore, it has been very rightly put up here. Choice is balanced with conscience. Then come to the next one. Any act of freedom, when aligned with the human conscience. What the conscience is telling, in Tamil we used to call manasachi. That is called the conscience. True freedom is exercised and experienced when parameters are defined and understood. See, here only the great thinkers, the philosophers, the religious leaders are making us to understand what the true freedom means. Because we have to exercise it, and at the same time we have to experience it. To experience and to exercise, the parameters are to be defined and understood. See, definition part is more important. Most of the times, we are not able to define it. Just I give you an example. We are all living beings. We are telling we are living our life. We are talking about 4 lives also in the beginning. Na? Personal life, family life, professional life, and social life. Then I ask you, what is life? Very difficult to define. While you are living or while in your life, what you want or you want, don't you want, or what is your expectation, what is the characteristics of life, you can explain. But what is life? It's very difficult to define. Therefore, the parameters are to be defined and understood. Parameters are the principles that everyone has equally the same rights. See, when I demand my right, this is my right, I have to do, you understand, equally everyone has the same right. Therefore, being a social animal, we should understand clearly about the freedom. Freedom in spirituality, we mean freedom from the negativities, negative feelings, or we can say some of the vices which causes the sufferings, which is the ignorance of the self. Unless you remove this ignorance, the darkness, you will not get the light. Therefore, freedom means it is not my right only. It is equally available to everyone. Freedom is to select freely a lifestyle in which one can grow healthy and can flourish through the work of hands, heads, and hearts. Here they have mentioned about 3 H. H, hands, H, head, and H, heart. These 3 should work harmoniously. Most of the times, we think something else and we talk something else. We talk something else and we do something else. There is no harmony between our thinking and doing. Is it so or not? Sometimes we see people will greet another one, good morning, sir. In the word, they will express that good morning. But in the mind, they think that, so why I come in front of him? That is gone from here. Like that, it has some negative feeling inside. There is no harmony within the self. That is the conflict we are creating. That is the game we are playing. That is why we are not having the peace or the freedom we are experiencing in our day-to-day life. We got freedom. 75 years has gone. Political freedom, but not the freedom from our weaknesses, our differences, our limited thinking. Therefore, we should have the free lifestyle. See, after the pandemic, people are worrying or worried about their mental health. Nowadays, the psychologists or counselors are in heavy demand for the reason that everyone wants a modified lifestyle. If your lifestyle modified with spirituality or in adoption of values, definitely you will make your life a purposeful one, a meaningful one, a happy one. I assure you, because it has given so many solutions for the problems we are facing in our day-to-day life. Therefore, you select your lifestyle which can grow healthily. For that, we require harmonization of hands, heads, and hearts. Inner freedom is to be free from confusion and complications. In the mind, it happens so many times. Whether I am right or not, I don't know. Whether it is to be done or not to be done, I don't know. Whether it will give a solution, what I want or not, I don't know. Whether it is having some consequences or not, I don't know. I don't know means you are in confusion. There are so many things make you the complications. While you are dealing with some of the problems, we are focusing mostly on the problems and not on the solutions. If you focus on the solution, easily you will make the complicated things in a simple things. Therefore, within the mind, intellect, or thought, whatever arises due to negativity make us more confused and complicated. You can truly experience freedom when you are free from weaknesses. You all people know very well that in psychology we are using SWOT analysis. In management science also, even in transactional analysis, everywhere we are using the SWOT analysis. SWOT, you very well know that strength, weakness, threats, and opportunities. These are the 4 things is available for everyone for any task. Normally, whenever we are assigned with some of the specific jobs, we used to work out on that. What are the strengths I am having to perform this action or to attain the destiny or to succeed in that endeavor? Then I have to see the weaknesses. What is in me to execute this project or to make success in that endeavor, then definitely there are some opportunities out there that we have to think over. And at the same time, there will be some threats also. If you work out these analysis of the SWOT, then you make the strength to work out and leave the weaknesses and explore the opportunities and boldly enough see some of the skills to overcome those threats. Then we will access the success in every endeavors. Then you can truly experience freedom when you are free from weaknesses, and freedom is an ongoing process. It is not one, it is in the ongoing process. I hope you can now understand very well about the freedom, what it means to us. Normally we think our own rights and responsibility, we have to make the balance. Here we start with how to adopt those values, how to bring those values from inside out. There is a distinct difference between I and mine. We cannot say mine in the case of I. Is it so or not? I means the source of universal light. The self is non-physical, immortal, eternal, conscious, constant self-image, and natural state of peace. Whereas the body is a physical one, mortal one, temporary one. There is no consciousness, and there is always a changing in the self-image, and it is in the state of motion. Since the time is 5:15, I have to rush out of the next slides. How it works, it is an interesting thing that the components of the self is called MIS. MIS normally means management information system. Here in the self-management, it is called the mind, intellect, and the sanskars, or the subconscious mind, what they say. It is working in the cyclic order. When the thought arises in the mind, there should be more information. Then only we have to evaluate it, we have to work on it, and we will come with a decision. And based on the decision, we do some action of the behavior. And for any action we have done, we have to get the benefit out of it. That is called the sanskar. Then it will give the feed or the food to the mind to think over. This is the cyclic pattern of how the self is functioning. Here, that state of consciousness, the consciousness, how it exists, it is based on the combination of the mind, intellect, and the impressions. What is mind? It is nothing but the thought power. What we mean by the thought power, it has thinking, feeling, experiencing, imagining, and forming of ideas. These are the activities of the mind. It's very clearly, wonderfully explained in the spiritual knowledge or education given by Brahma Kumaris. Then the willpower. What is that willpower? What is the intellect? It evaluates, reasons, discerns, decides, and understands. It's like you can control over the elephant. We require a tool that is called the intellect. And the third one, the record of experiences. That is called the impressions on the self. Our habits, our tendencies, our memories, our talents, our qualities, all are come in this impression. This is the way how the consciousness has developed in the self. Then what are those tips for the ideal life? We have to practice tolerance, humility, honesty, and simplicity. We have to cultivate peace, love, and bliss. And we have to strengthen the courage and confidence. And we have to create the cooperation and goodwill. and we have to motivate the harmony and brotherhood. Why there is in spirituality? It is the essence for our ideal life. We have to give and receive the blessings and have faith in the self and the God, and we have to communicate with the divine, and we should cultivate and culture the soul consciousness and God consciousness. Therefore, it has given in a simple words: be good, do good. Be simple and be sample. Be holy and be yogi. This is, we are giving it in a small words. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share few of my thoughts on this.
Thank you, sir. Now the chat will be open, sir, for discussion.
Okay. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Most welcome.
Thank you, sir. Participants can post your questions in the chat box, please.
There are so many thank yous only. Thank you very much for appreciating. I have taken your valuable time. Nearly 1.5 hours is not an ordinary thing. PPT I will share, no problem.
Sir, there is one question, sir.
Yes.
How to achieve higher consciousness?
Okay. See, it requires, we have to link the self with the higher consciousness. For example, we are using our mobiles. While we are using the mobiles, we are very particular about we should not leave the energy or the power. Therefore, at times in between, we are connecting with the electricity and make it is a continuous one for our usage. Like that, we have to link the self with the higher consciousness in between. It cannot be done in the evening only or the night only. In between, we have to do. That is why in Brahma Kumaris, you can see there are some specific 5 times or every 1 hour, they are spending 1 minute to remember the Supreme. Remembering the Supreme Consciousness is nothing but connecting. See, to connect 2 wires, we are not just putting the knot. We are removing the rubber part and we are connecting to the metal part. Like that, unless we forget the body, we will not be able to link the self with the Supreme. Therefore, we should be in the soul consciousness to have the God consciousness. Then we will be able to link the self with the higher consciousness. Yes, anything else?
Sir, there is a question.
Yes, yes.
Intrinsic and extrinsic value, sir.
Oh, intrinsic is the inborn one. Extrinsic, what we are acquiring from the outside. See, whatever the talents we are taking it, these are all the acquired qualities. What we mention under the acquired qualities are the extrinsic values. Intrinsic are the innate values. For example, if a white light is passed through a prism, it will make a Vijaya. These are the 7. Like that, we are having the knowledge, love, peace, these blessings and the powers. These are all some of the things which is the innate one. That is called the intrinsic one. It is a different terminology we are using, that's all.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes.
How to balance between love and anger?
See, when there is a love, there cannot be an anger. For example, if the light is there, if the day is there, there cannot be a night. When the night is there, then cannot be a day. Like that, when there is the true love is there, there cannot be an anger. The anger is also an ignorance. The anger, when we are getting that negative emotion, is based mostly on our assumptions. That is why my expectations are not met with, then I am getting angry. But if you understand with the true love, then there is a proper understanding, then there is an acceptance. We have to accept the people with their weaknesses. See, God is the great because he accepted us as we are. Whether we are having any positivity or negativity, he is accepting us unconditionally. That is why he is called the God. Like that, when there is a love, there cannot be an anger. When there is an anger, there cannot be a love.
Thank you, brother. Difference between sympathy and empathy.
You are totally correct. Sympathy is just to have our broad-mindedness, whereas empathy is making him coming out of the proportion. That is why empathy is the need of the hour. Sympathy will create some feeling which is inferiority on you. Whereas if you have the empathy, then we will able to work out the problems also without involving ourselves. For example, doctors, when they are treating with the patient, they very well know the patient is having this problem and this is the critical situation and this may happen or not happen. But they are not involving themselves. For them, if somebody is died, they will not weep for it. If they start to weep, then they cannot be a doctor. Here I am mentioning if a doctor should have an empathy and not the sympathy. If you have the sympathy, then he cannot perform his action. Like that, in our day-to-day life also, to safeguard ourselves, at the same time we have to help others. To make others a successful one, we require empathy and not the sympathy. Hope it is clear now. Someone is asking about the role of meditation in overcoming anger or overcoming attachment. See, the basic principle of meditation itself, we have to be in soul consciousness. When we achieve soul consciousness, then there will not be any 5 vices like sex, anger, lust, anger, greed, attachment, and pride. These are the 5 vices, and another 2 is also there. One is laziness. That is also a big vice for us, not to make us to succeed in all our endeavors. That is like a postponement. These are the things we can easily come out of it.
Sir, one more question, sir. விதியை மதியால் வெல்ல முடியுமா?
நிச்சயமாக முடியும். விதியை நாம உருவாக்குறதே நாம தான். அதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். ஏற்கனவே நிர்ணயிக்கப்பட்ட ஒன்றாக இருந்தாலும் சில நேரம் நம்ம ஜாதகம் பார்க்கும்போதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா சில விஷயம் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஆனாலும் கூட தலைக்கு வந்தது தலைப்பாகையோட போச்சுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதே மாதிரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மகாபாரதத்துல அர்ஜுனனுக்கு முன்னாடி கர்ணன் அந்த அம்பை விடுவான். அதை தடுத்து நிறுத்த மாட்டாரு ஸ்ரீகிருஷ்ணர். அது வந்துகிட்டு தான் இருக்கும். இவர் பயப்படுவாரு. ஆகா இது வருது, நான் இப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவேன், எப்படி என்ன காப்பாத்திக்குவேன், பேசாம இரு, நான் தான் கூட இருக்கேனேம்பார். கரெக்டா அது கிட்ட வரும்போது அந்த தேரை அழுத்தி இவருடைய நெற்றிக்கு வைக்கப்பட்ட குறியானது அந்த அந்த கிரவுண்ட் மேல பட்டு அது போயிடும். அப்போ அவர் தப்பிச்சு விடுவார். ஆக நாம என்ன செஞ்சோமோ அதுக்கான பலன் நமக்கு கண்டிப்பா வரத்தான் செய்யும். அதை கடவுளாலேயே தடுக்க முடியாது. ஆனாலும் நீங்க கடவுளுடைய துணையை எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னாக்கா தலைக்கு வந்தது தலைப்பாகோட போயிடும். ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன்னு, இன்னைக்கு நான் பிரசன்ட்ல ஒரு டைரக்டரா இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னாக்கா பாஸ்ட்ல நான் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கணும், என்ன குவாலிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்கணும், டாக்டரேட் பண்ணியிருக்கணும், எனக்கு அதில் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்கணும், எனக்கு அதுக்கான சான்ஸ் வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிருக்கணும், நான் அதை எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். இப்போ நான் ஆயிருக்கேன். அப்ப கடந்த காலத்துல என்னுடைய முயற்சிக்கு ஏற்பதான் நான் நிகழ்காலத்துக்கு வந்திருக்கிறேன். என்னுடைய கொஸ்டின் என்ன, எதிர்காலத்துக்கு கடந்த காலம் எது? எதிர்காலத்தினுடைய கடந்த காலம் நிகழ்காலம். ஆக எதிர்காலத்தை உருவாக்குறது நான் இப்போ பிரசன்ட்ல அதை ஒர்க் பண்ணணும். தட் இஸ் மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அதனாலதான் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, திருவள்ளுவர் கூட சொல்றாரு, முயற்சி திருவினை ஆக்கணும் மட்டும் சொல்லல, தெய்வத்தால ஆகாது என்னன்னு முயற்சி தன் மெய்வர்த்த கூலி தரும்னு சொல்றார். கடவுளாலே முடியாட்டாலும் சொல்றார். அவரால் முடியாத எதுவுமே கிடையாது, அது அவருக்கு தெரியும். ஆனா அவராட்ட முடியாட்டா கூட நாம செய்யற முயற்சிக்கு, தொடர் முயற்சிக்கு கண்டிப்பா வெற்றி நமக்கு கிடைக்கும் சொல்றார். அதனால we have to work. அதனால ஏற்கனவே நிர்ணயிக்கப்பட்டது விதின்னு சொல்லிட்டு மதியை நாம பயன்படுத்தாம இருக்கக்கூடாது.
Sir,
Okay.
Any questions from the participants, or shall we wind up the session? Sir, shall we wind up the session, sir?
There is one question, madam.
Okay. Ask. Chandler, I'm going to ask the question.
Sir, I want feedback from you. Sir, with this question, let us wind up the session. Sir, it is a wonderful, is independent or it's interdependent with our society or community. Can we achieve universal harmony irrespective of turmoil around the world?
Here I am wish to share my experience. Some 15 years back, when I was in Tuticorin, I was an opportunity to meet the NCC cadets of All India training, where one person was talking about the national integrity, and there was a lot of chaos from the North Indian students. They were telling that when the people of Tamil Nadu is not knowing the Hindi, why there should be in India? Let them go outside. Because we are not able to understand what they are telling, and we are not able to get what we want. The food also, there was a lot of chaos. The person could not able to conduct the program. It was ended in between. That was the next, I have to talk on that peace, the peace within, like that. But however, I have started the session with the Hindi saying that Pongalukku ungaluடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள், or Lodi, I saw they are telling it. Lodi ki Mubarak ho abdinu, or I have started the session. They are very happy to listen that there is someone is talking in Hindi. Then I asked them, why you are now happy? They are told you are talking in Hindi. Then I told, see, this is the language we are using for the communication. It is nothing but, if you are in the north, you are learning Hindi. When I am in south, I am learning Tamil. Then what is the difference between? Why you are having the hatredness? Why it has come? Because we are not understanding one concept. I am asking one question. In which college you belong to? They are told various colleges. In the college, which session you belong to? Whether you are in the science or the commerce. Then they have told some answer. In which year you are studying? First year or second year, like that. So when I asked question, they have told so many things. Then I told, see, you are from different states, You are from different universities, you are from different colleges, you are from different sections, and still you are in one under, you are the cadre of NCC. See, this is the one thing make you an harmonious here, because you are the NCC student. It is the thing you have to accept, and you are making it as a harmonious in relations with other. Like that, if you understand, we the living beings or the human beings are the soul, source of universal life. All are the souls, then all belong to one God. There is one global family. Therefore, it is possible. It's not feasible like that. It is possible to have the understanding on the spirituality. We will have the harmony within the self, and not only within the self, but also within the nature also. Then they are clapped like anything. They accepted, yes, spirituality is at most important to have the universal harmony. Definitely, we will be able to achieve it. For that only, we are striving for the last 83 years to bring the universal harmony, and we will bring such a better world where there will be no differentiation, neither on the religion, nor on the linguistic, nor on the caste, creed, sect. Nothing will be there. It is for that only Brahma Kumaris are working for the last 83 years. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Shall we conclude the session, sir?
Yes,
With
why
your
not? Why not?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for all your queries answered by you. Now is the time to propose a vote of thanks. Dr. B.K. Pandimani, brother, in his address on values for universal harmony, has made us realize the importance of values in life, which makes life meaningful. How to promote value education through experiential learning was well explained. That is doing together, learning together, and planning and acting together. Though there are thousands of values, Sir has nicely dealt with love, peace, tolerance, and freedom. And he has differentiated between love and attachment. The remarks from the participants, that is regarding his session, that is meaningful, useful, informative, super brother, excellent session, shows that his lecture was well received by the participants. On behalf of IQAC of Annamalai University, thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your expertise with the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
for
brother.
giving me an opportunity. Thank you for the
brother.
organizers.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Brother, நீங்க leave பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, please stop the screen sharing.
Yes. No, I don't know.
Yes, madam.
Good evening to everyone present here. Now we are in the second session, will be handled by Dr. Brahmacharya, who is specialized in the field of naturopathy and acupuncture, as this is also one of the complementary therapy. It's a self-healing therapy also. So naturopathy is so popular, especially during this pandemic situation. So one of the reasons why so many people are turning to naturopathic medicine is because for shorter, the naturopathic remedies have a far shorter without any side effects and supporting the body's natural ability to heal. Now we have a appropriate subject expert with us. So sir is managing trustee of Arogya Mandira Trust Holistic Healthcare Center at Bangalore. He has received many awards, Government of Karnataka, Rajyotsava and Patanjali Swarna Pada Awardee, Prakruti Chiksta Ratna Awardee, INOS Jindal Trust, Gold Medalist and Award of Excellence of Indian Board of Alternative Medicine, Kolkata. He is a special holistic awardee of Indian Holistic Health Mission Chennai, Yoga Sri awardee of Bangalore Yoga Center, Samja Seva Bhushan awardee of Shubram Trust Bangalore. He is the ex-member of editorial board Vidya Loga monthly issues, and he has the website. Please visit if your time permits whenever you want. www.arogyamandira.com. www.arogyamandira.com. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Sir is now going to deliver a lecture. The topic is nature, the immune booster. Definitely this topic will be immensely useful for our participants eagerly waiting there, because during this pandemic situation, definitely sir will give so many tips and all. We are awaiting your lecture, sir. Over to Brahmacharya, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. The platform. Sir, audio, voice, sir. Sir, sound is, voice is not audible, sir.
Saila, madam,
Yes, madam.
can you hear?
No, madam. No, madam. No, madam. Sir, we can't hear you, sir. Well, I don't know what is the problem.
Sir, not audible, sir. Phone
Sir,
Sir, mic is not working, sir.
sir, your earphone, something problem in the earphone, I think. We can't hear you. Whether it is connected correctly to the laptop. No, sir, we can't hear you. Susila, madam, please call sir, ma'am. Susila, madam. Any device is connected to audio, I don't know.
Sir, participants, some technical issues, kindly bear with it. Sir will be getting connected in few minutes.
Sir, ipa solunga sir, naanga will check, sir.
No. Is
Sir, and the assistant.
that, sir, that you are using earphone now, sir, something problem in that. You
It's
can
not
disconnect it.
It's not audible. Voice is not coming from your system. Earphone is connected. Please check. Unmute that, sir.
என்ன மேடம் கிளம்ப சொல்லுவாங்க அங்க பாத்துருவீங்க வீட்டுல போய் பாத்துருவீங்க சாயல் இல்ல மேடம்
Please unmute, madam. Pravina, madam, unmute yourself.
Can't hear, madam.
See that wireless earphone is connected, I think. That should be removed. No, sir, we can't hear you. Madam, please speak to the assistant, madam. Sir's assistant.
பேசிட்டேன் மேடம் பேசிட்டேன் மேடம்
Earphone may be connected and so there will be.
அந்த ஆடியோவை மாத்தணும் மேடம் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ இதுன்னு மாத்தணும் சொல்றேன் மேடம்
மேடம் அது டிஃபால்ட்டா செட் பண்ணிருக்கேன் சார். அந்த ஹெட்போன்ல எடுத்துட்டு டைரக்டா பேசுங்க சார். லேப்டாப் இருந்தா டைரக்டா பேசுங்க சார். ஹெட்போன் அந்த கேபிளை ரிமூவ் பண்ணிருங்க. ஹெட்போன் கேபிள் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிருங்க சார்.
காதுல போட்டு ரிமூவ் பண்ணுங்க
சார். லேப்டாப்ல இருந்தோ அல்லது சிஸ்டம்ல இருந்தோ ஹெட்போன் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிருங்க சார். லேப்டாப்ல இருந்து
அவருக்கு கேட்கல போல.
அந்த பின் ரெண்டு ரிமூவ் பண்ணிருங்க சார்.
அது போன்ல தான் சொல்லணும் மேடம்.
இந்த லேப்டாப்ல கனெக்ட் பண்ணிருக்கிற அந்த ஹெட்போன் பின் எதா இருந்தாலும் ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு டைரக்டா பேசுங்க சார். சார் உங்களுக்கு அன்மியூட் ஆயிருக்குங்க சார். மியூட் பண்ணுங்க சார். அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க சார். சாரி மியூட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க சார். சார்
Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Hello, sir. Speak, sir.
Now you are hearing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Namaste to everybody, especially to the IQAC-ANNAMALAI University, Dr. Sushila and Dr. Venkatachapati for giving me an opportunity in this one. Are you hearing? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you. So our subject is an immunity. Presently, it's a complex biological system endowed with the capacity of recognizing the tolerant, whatever belongs to self, and recognize and reject whatever is not ours. In the beginning, our T cells will mobilize the tissue and eat away the foreign bodies. It creates about the barriers of inflammation, chemical and mechanical defenses through skin, mucous membranes, and conjunctiva. All these things, they try to create and eat away the foreign matter. If it is not successful, then we have to go to the second one, where the B cells come into action. Probably if it is a more of virus nature, or of then the lymph nodes and the spleen and lymphatic things will come into action. They create some extra symptoms in the body. to remove and kill this foreign matter. In this one, we have science has developed some immunoglobulins. I think it's an antibodies. There are about 5 antibodies. Of course, they will give some technical information before going to the other aspects. The immunoglobulin A, we find it in the intestines, bronchi, and saliva and tears. It's a protein defends body against invading microorganism. A body present, especially from the birth, from mother milk, breast milk, we get this immunoglobulin. Another protein found in the protein, small quantity serum institutes, serum tissues, whose function is not known. But anyway, it has a reaction for some milk, insulin, and penicillin. It is also during the allergic action, it works. Another one they called hemoglobin E, when it comes to the lungs and skin cells, provides primary defense. Probably what you are feeling with this COVID, when connected with the lungs, these come into action. The another Ig, special protein, it is from the mother, it is given to the baby through the placenta in the first 3 months. Next one is the molecular structure, IgM. When the blood groups incompatibility occurs, this will come into action. It also helps to production of IgA, hemoglobin G. We found how this immune system improves in our body. When you spend in nature, vitamin G called green plants give off phytoncides, antimicrobial, volatile organic compounds, increase natural killing, the NK cells in the body. They are large lymphocytes. They say they have experimented 2 hours of spending in green. When you go to the park or some forest, it will protect you against the immunity for 1 week. Similarly, if you go to the urban walks, we don't find that effect. There should be a green, forest, green, water flow like that. They have found another experiment in a hospital where the patient is kept opposite to the window, is able to see this greenery and park like that. They recover also fast and they need less antibiotics. When compared to the other window, other rooms where the window is against a wall like that. So even patients looking at green also, they have a recovery better. The forest, flowing water, mountains, even they say showers. They contain more negative ions, reduce depression, reduce sympathetic nervous system, and increase the parasympathetic activity, promote healing from surgery. When you go to even in earlier hospital, there used to be a lot of greens. Patients are asked to sit in greens. They used to find a better recovery. Of course, today in the urban, we found only buildings, not any greenery. Just before this forest walk and urban walks, they have made the DHEA, dihydroendrosterone, which is an antibodies, cardioprotective, anti-diabetic, reverse impaired immune of old people when vaccinated. This is also found improved. Even this greenery open air walk lowers level of inflammation and found that lower risk of mortality also. Our attention also restoration reduces accidents due to mental fatigue, reduce risky health behavior, smoking, alcohol, overeating like that. Our negative emotions, unfortunately, associated with poorer health and weakened immunity, social isolation, feeling of loneliness, independently weaken the immunity. Test of immunoglobulins in the blood can determine this kind of test also. On the other hand, some experiments have been conducted on the meditation. Long back, Mahesh Yogi's transcendental meditation in the 1850s they have conducted. They said just chanting of a name, God name, something like that, for 20 minutes, morning and the evening, in a comfortable sitting posture, and also some advanced, using of aphorisms known as sutras after this TM meditation. There is no discipline they are imposed, no change of lifestyle, no philosophical ideas or religious background. They are just given the mantras to chant. The total number of leukocytes, granulocytes, and also lymphocytes, monocytes were counted. T cells, helper cells, T cells, helper T cells, cytotoxins, B cells, NK natural killers were counted in blood. During yogic practice, they found correlation between mental alpha waves activity and increase in natural killing cells activity. Further, in Siddhi practice, little advanced, they found higher level of frontal alpha and beta amplitudes in EEG graph research, the mental graph. The outcome of research in relations of T lymphocytes, they found that higher levels of T cells, helper T cells, cytotoxic cells are all lower levels if T cells helps T cells when compared to the control group. They were in higher levels when compared to the control group. They found this also melatonin levels have increased in these higher meditation levels. Of course, the melatonin levels, the hormonal immunity and stimulate production of NK cells also. A group of cancer patients practicing Sudarshana Kriya and Pranayama increased NK cells with no effect on T cells. There are also some inner engineering retreat program. They found response to oxidative stress, detoxification, and cell cycle regulation were down but regulated after meditation. There were also some experiment in the genes about this meditation. 220 genes directly associated with immune response, including 68 genes related to interferon signaling, were up related with no significant expression in inflammatory genes. This is effective for treating various conditions associated with excessive and persistent inflammation with the dampened immune system also. So meditation at any time can be practiced even in inflammation also. There are certain foods which can be used. They were also highlighted during this COVID period. Citrus fruits, the tablets were given, but we have the fruits itself, which has C vitamin increase, WBCs to fight infection also, especially the grapes, orange, lemon, sweet lime also. Red bell, somewhat bigger capsicum, is also rich in vitamin A and C. Broccoli is also fiber. Garlic, ginger, and spinach, yogurt, almond, sunflower seeds, turmeric. Turmeric infectially anti-inflammatory for osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, immune booster also. Even papaya and kiwi fruits are also found useful in this immune boosters. Now, they have analyzed the immunity is in two ways we are getting. One is from innate immunity by birth and also from nature. It is found, the innate immunity found in the metazoans, that is animals, but adaptive acquired immunity is found in the vertebrates, the human beings, and some of the animals also. It is by birth we get it. And further we see that the natural immunity and artificial immunity. Again, in the human beings, the natural immunity we get is a passive one. From maternal we get it, placenta also. As I already told in the third month, we get IgG, and from the breast milk, IgA. That is the passive and natural immunity. The active one, when we expose to the nature, the different natures, the pathogen primary response memory, the B cells and T cells, lifelong immunological memory they have. So it is better to expose and engage so that you can get the memory of all the immune factors. On the other hand, present day, the more we see is artificial immunity. The passive one earlier used, it is, but from the muscular intravenous injections we find it. But now the present one is the active through vaccines, antigen stimulation. This is more prominent now in the present context of the COVID-19. Next. We are the product of nature, in fact. Without nature, we can't. The immunity is also from nature, we get it, not from any vaccinations. The innate and adaptive immunity, innate is for metazoans and adaptive for vertebrates. Natural immunity we get from parents called passive. The natural immunity we get from nature is called active. Artificial immunity, what we have created, passive, intramuscular and IV like that. The active vaccination, immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, while transplanting organs also. Our science has forgotten the natural immunity. It is concentrating on artificial immunity by developing vaccines. There is no end for it because we have to develop vaccine for every disease. We have a lot of virus and lot of problems. I think there is no end for the artificial virus. But without natural immunity, we can't survive. Even the vaccine to work, we should have natural immunity. When our natural immunity is less, any amount of vaccines, the booster doses may not work. That is how we have seen in this COVID, there are a lot of deaths in spite of our vaccination and antibiotics like that. Then they say the other factors were the problem, like blood pressure, diabetic, and other health problems. So if you have a health, then your vaccine also works. Otherwise, without natural immunity, nothing can be done. Our experiments are disturbing the nature immunity. Immunity depends upon the health of the parents and the environment. Now, we get immunity from parents. The mother health, the physical and mental effects on the baby, and take care of the mother. So we have to take care of the mother. Nutrition and socially we have to keep her happy. Otherwise, mother may not be able to impart sufficient immunity to others. And environment also a health condition. Suppose we try to avoid mating the couples in the winter, raining, Ashada Masa we call it, because the progeny will not be good because of the bad environment. So like that, though we are not familiar with the vaccines, but we are following certain rules and regimen in our tradition. The bedroom also will have an impact on the couples. So bedroom should be decorated good. We are looking for a very beautiful child like that. You should be in the bedroom, whatever we like, whether the God or important persons like that. It so happened in one of these Pondicherry Mother's Ashram, a foreign lady used to come with a beautiful baby. The mother, well, just happened to meet her. Because of the baby was so good, she commented, "Oh, this is like a Mona Lisa." Then the mother said, "I wanted a baby such like that. I was keeping the Mona Lisa photo in my bedroom so that I can always see that, and it is the product of this." So like that. So the Garbhadana is also, when we get the child, we look into the Jataka and others, all those things. But before conceiving also, the tradition says there is a Muhurta for Garbhadana, a celestial favor we have to look for. Then I think baby will also have a good favor of celestial movements. And to keep the mother also in good condition so that the baby can develop better, we have Simanta. We invite people to bless her, we keep her in good mood like that. In delivery also, there is a maternal care. I think nowadays we are missing. We are in just ICQ and hospital care we have. But earlier there used to be a mother care. After birth also, the immunity starts. Mother and baby are protected from pollution. Except the family people, no were allowed to see the baby for some time. So hot water is given, cleanliness was there, special food was given ghee, pepper, garlic, all these things were given. They were all immune builders also, immune fighters also. And complete rest was given. So to give the immune, skin is also a very important role in protecting us from the foreign objects. So the oil massage helps the skin to become healthy. Bath with herbal leaves, even the bath also given with herbal leaves and turmeric, so that it's a protection against any various infections. And when baby is born, there is in Ayurveda, there is a procedure called Swarna Prashana. The gold elements are given with honey. It protects a long life. Some herbs also given, like the tvacha, which improves immunity, the speech and memory. Even breast milk also has to pass on the IgA, immune factor to the baby. So it all depends upon the mentality, the mood. So breastfeeding is not given in public. So they used to give a solace place so that the mother is calm. So when baby becomes 5-6 months, there will be Annaprashana, ghee and rice. Ghee protects our immunity, increases our immunity. So like that, ghee and rice were started with a celebration. So there is another procedure in our tradition. We puncture the ear and we put an abdominal thread also. And this ear puncture has got something to do with the brain and the speech. Along with this vacha, the ear puncture also helps for a good speech and memory also. The abdominal thread, we have in acupuncture, there are about 8 meridians meet in our waist area. We have to keep them active so that the upper part of the waist and the lower part of the waist are balanced, are working well. So there is a scientific reason to put an abdominal thread to the baby. And baby is allowed to move on the floor. So scientists says in the first 2 months, first 2 years of the baby, I think it is exposed to all virus and dust and toxins, whatnot. And it is developing immunity to all those toxins for lifelong. So we have to allow the baby to crawl, and even doesn't matter, it leaks dust and all those things. So exercise active immunity to all forms of dust, natural toxins. Limbs movement will also become stronger. So baby tries to sit and itself tries to stand up. It gives a mental balance, develop. The movements of the brain also develops. The limbs also controlled. And this balance goes for lifelong. Otherwise, in the later years, in the old age, we find problem. So the baby is also given nutritional food and play in nature. Both improves the immunity. It is not the immunity given by medicines like that. It is a natural immunity the baby develops. And there are certain ornaments given for earrings. Some gems were given. Gold is used, silver or copper is used. There is a element called negative ions. Negative ions are very healthy for us. It is available in the climate also. And they found some of the gems and some of the gold have the more of electrons than protons. When the protons are less, electrons are more, it is good for the body. On the other hand, the protons are more than the electrons, that is bad. So we don't use this aluminum or this iron, such other things for the ornament. We use only the gold, silver and copper, where these electrons are more than the protons. So that is also having a health benefit for us. And the gems also have a health, negative ions, depending upon the baby's, nature, some selective germs are given. The wrist and ankles, according to our acupuncture, they are connected to the waist also. So we have a band for the wrist, we have a band for the ankles, so that the movements make stronger our abdomen area, the waist area, including the reproductive organs. The neck also, we have a chain and a pendant. The pendant supposed to touch our thymus gland, where the T cells becomes active. And the thread also to the waist, have some gold or some silver. It's a good metal. And then lifestyle and immunity factors. The lifestyle factors, some of the immunities by naturally we get it, but the lifestyle factors weaken the immunity. That is disturbed sleep, lack of sleep. Sleep is very important for our immunity. And malnutrition food. Our Dr. B.M. Hegde, I think, comments, there is two types of malnutrition. One is malnutrition by lack of food, like that, in the poor conditions. And another is in the rich class, there is a mall. We get it, junk food from the malls, MALL, malls. That is another kind of malnutrition we get it. In the civilized society, this kind of malnutrition is increasing. There is also, we are not exposed to much of the D vitamin, the sunshine. We lack D vitamin and resort to the capsule, D vitamin tablets, which is toxic in long run. So high fat diet, the fried materials, they are increasing our diet. So that is also weakens our immunity. Lack of outdoor time also. We are always within the four walls and just get into vehicle and get into another office like that. We hardly go outside. Probably some people hardly see the sunrise or sunset at all. So excess sexual life also, Ayurveda insists that weakens the immunity. So lack of hygiene, anxiety and stress. There is another barrier for to reducing immunity in the modern days. I think right from the child, there is a stress. I think we are not able to live without stress. More of the comforts, but still we have more stress. In addition to this, some habits like smoking, alcohol, drugs, they are also reducing our immunity. I think for everything, we go for the antibiotics. More of antibiotics in the long run create cancer. The environmental pollution in the city, it is very difficult to live healthy life because so much of, vehicle pollution is very much. And in addition to that, there are viral infection, just like the present scenario, the COVID infections. Our body, we are trying to find some solution for that. First, we have to understand the body. The food, what we eat, nourishes the body. That is converts into rasa, plasma or lymph fluid. Then it converts into rakta, blood. Then they fortifies into mamsa, muscles. Then it is fortified into medha, the fats. Then again it goes into the bone, asti. From the bone, it goes into the marrow, majja. Now in the immunity, we are considering this bone marrow to help us. But it is not, it should be healthy one. The healthy one should start from the food, the blood, the mamsa and fat and the bone. If these things are active, then the bone marrow will be healthy also. Then it turns into shukra, the semen or reproductive child. And these are interconnected. Malfunction of a single dhatu affects all other dhatus, vata circulation by. And rasa dhatu dominated by water for circulation. In the lack of water, I think the rakta dominated by Agni also. In the physical activity is not there. This also is difficult to circulate. Transportation is difficult. Oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. That is, heat is required. There should be physical activity to get good circulation of the blood. Then mamsa covers organs for strength and stability. So there should be movement for these muscles. If the muscles are moved, then they become strong and stable. The meda, the fat is solid and firm body stores excess fat, gives flexibility to muscles, joints. In the absence of food, in the absence of fat, the stored fat comes into picture. The asthi, the bones, give stability, nourishes by food, makes body stronger. But again, we comment upon this vitamin D, which you have to get from the sun rays and activity. The majja associated with nervous system govern metabolic process in the brain as well as spinal cord. So it is connected with the brain as well as a spinal cord. So when infection is severe, the majja will come in, the spinal, marrow will come into action. So then this is fortified into Shukra. That is our dhatus responsible for vitality, energy, and immunity. So there is a further Ojas, which is further fortified by this 7 dhatus. That is the major contributor for immunity. So if the Ojas is good, then immunity is good. Each dhatu undergoes three stages. One is in the what you call energy form. The another is in the stula, that is solid form. Another is mala, the waste. The waste have to be eliminated periodically or regularly. Otherwise, the waste itself causes diseases at either blood level or muscle level or even asthi level, the bone level. So this process depends upon Agni. There should be, though everything is good, the body should have good movements of physical body and a good state of mind also. Now, there are experiments are going on stem cells. The stem cells concept depends upon this dhatus. So we can take the dhatus, but they are again depending upon the other, it is a combination of sapta dhatus. We can't take out a single cell and give on, expect it to strengthen our system. All our life and health are the product depending upon the Panchabhutas. Again, whether this dhatus or whatever it is, we are all product of Panchabhutas, that is Prakriti. The 5 elements, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, that is Sun, Jala and Prithvi. Our immunity basically depends upon the natural elements. If there is suppose there is continuous rain, we get affected. If the sun is more, we get affected. If there is Vayu is disturbed, we get affected. So actually we depend upon the 5 elements. Naturopathy mainly deals with this Panchabhutas for maintenance of health and treatment of diseases. Yoga considers our health and diseases are depending upon our mental condition. Yoga, chitta rutti nirodha, like that. The Ayurveda considers Vata, Pitta, Kapha. All these things from the nature only. Acupuncture deals with activating energy centers connected to organs and the hormones. But all depend upon Panchabhutas, utilities, food, water, sun, air, space, and the source of life, health and immunity. Ayurveda dictates dinacharya, a daily regimen of healthy and happy life. Now, in this regimen, we are supposed to use water, proper sunshine, and proper food like that. So these things, we cannot think of immunity without water. Even cleanliness, hygiene, whatever it is, we require water. We care more of hygiene. We use pesticides and a lot of things outside. Even the soaps and other cosmetics we use. And we have repeated baths and washing hands frequently, especially during this corona. But it is very much necessary to care intake also. If you don't have a proper hydration of the body, if there is no enough quantity of water in the body, maybe about 65 to 70%, I think outside hygiene may not work. So the skin may not have enough immunity. So even this compare IV feeding, it is a drop by drop, we recover better. So in irrigation we go, it is a drip irrigation, which saves water also, but benefits more the agriculture. Similarly, we have to sip the water slowly. Just like our hot water or some beverages we take, we are sipping and we enjoy it. Similarly, water has to be sipped. It induces relaxation. Some people take bottle of water and gulp it within few seconds. But when you take it slowly, hardly you can take a tumbler of a glass. So they have seen there is congestion of the nose. So the experiments have done. They have kept a bubble of water in front of a blocked nose for a few minutes. After a few minutes, without any therapy, the blockage will open. That is what the effect of water. So we are by just looking at the water also, sitting near water, river, lake, sea, will have a chemical changes in our immune system. The flowing water itself, even when you go to the sea, you have a different feeling altogether. When you go to the probably a river, you have further, feelings. These things contain the negative ions in forest, in this water, running water. So they improve our health. Sometimes you feel a jolt as if you are elevated. When infection or foreign body enter our human body, it has to be thrown out or killed by mucous membranes, extra secretions. The water, without water, induces this mucus in a good quantity so that we can clean it better. The water pack, in fact, there is a fever due to infection like that. Even the water, a cloth dipped in water, squeezed and kept on the forehead or abdomen, fever also reduces. And anxiety also reduces in this one. Then the sun is everywhere. There is no life without sun. Suppose in the Iceland, we don't find life at all. So in darkness, only insects and negative energy is there. We are afraid of going there. In kitchen, sometimes we see in the night, there are insects, some cockroaches like that. But when you put on the light, they run away. Some food items we see with some ants and other insects, we expose it to the sun, they also dwell away. They run away. So inner warmthness of the body has a thermostatic condition between 36 and 37 degrees or 97 to 99 Fahrenheit is maintained. It is protecting our body from infection. However, whatever you do, the same maintenance will be there. Some experiment conducted from naturopaths, they keep some cholera germs in the palm. They die because of our skin has such a protection. The warmthness, some of the insects, they don't survive at all. Though we are exposed to a lot of virus in the atmosphere every day, we still survive because our skin alone protects, will kill it. When they come in contact with the skin, it will protect. So the acupuncture says there are two energies, chi. One is internal, another is external. The internal goes with digestive food and getting, I think, all energies from the food and circulation. The another equally potent chi, the prana, is the skin. It is externally, it is protecting. I think when we go to the aura and all those things, there is a layer called aura around our body. So they say our mentality and physical health depends upon this aura. So before we get into some diseases, so they have found there are some changes in the aura 6 months before. So the energy get into solidified the mass. So something like Einstein theory, the aura when disturbed can get into a solid form, a disease, the organs like that we come across. So immune enhance, germicidal, antidepressants give lust to the skin. The hair strengthen bone by vitamin D, detoxification, assimilation of calcium, phosphorus, and the skin radiant. We have seen the villagers who are exposed to sun most of the day, their skin is very tight. Even in the old age, we see less wrinkles, good tenacity like that. In the city people, we are less exposed to the sun. Our skin is very delicate, more wrinkles we apply, and a lot of lotions to keep it glowing like that. So we are lacking D vitamin, that is from the sun, and also small falls and accidents, we have breakage of this bone. So to prevent this, we require a lot of D vitamin protects from this bone loss, osteoporosis, what we call. It has to be strengthened by vitamin D from the sun. Some of the patients who are on the long period for taking vitamin D, they found this is deposited in kidney stones or some calcareous spur like that. So we had to switch on to the natural one from the tablets. Even we consume iron, calcium rich, greens and vegetables and fruits, but it has to be assimilated to the system, that is with the sun only. Then we come to the air. It is so essential that we cannot survive even for a minute without air. So we talk of much of oxygen. It is from the air we get it, because it is free. We are not taking much care of it. Only in hospital we talk about oxygen and like that. So lack of oxygen have serious effects. Probably we experience in the hospitals. What is the importance of oxygen? Breathing supply less oxygen reduces the effectiveness of our body organs. The effectiveness of the organs is reduced, and their physical activity is also reduced. Mental ability also reduces, lack of oxygen. If you are not breathing properly, I think your mind also get upset, body also becomes weakened. Physical work involving diaphragm movements give rise to the good breathing and oxygen intake. The earlier I think way of life was more of physical activity, bending forward and getting up. Lot of activity was there. Diaphragm movements was better. But nowadays you hardly sit on the chair and stand up. Everything in the standing condition or sitting condition. So diaphragm hardly moves. So the breathing becomes lesser and lesser. We have become chest breathers only. So the early morning is a good time for oxygen. It is available in nature. The circadian clock makes lungs active. There is a biological clock. So maybe hunger in the morning hours. So before that, there is eliminative organs become active. Like that, there is a circadian clock, rhythm is there. In this rhythm, the lungs work between 3 and 5 a.m. So many people resort to meditation and pranayama during this time. They get good benefits because lungs have good energy. So that is called also Brahmi Muhurta. Even the studies, whatever we do, it is having a very positive effect, successful effect. Reception is good. So the lungs eliminates waste matter. When we go to the outside, the phlegm is eliminated during early hours of the day. So we get it is allergy and we try to avoid it and keep this phlegm for a longer time. People avoid thinking that it is allergic. But we have to realize it is a process of elimination. If you continuously go in the open air early mornings for about a month or two, I think no more elimination, no more allergy, we can see it. We have seen a lot of breathing people. I think we ask them to go to the sun, go to the open air in the early hours so that they get phlegm discharged, eliminated. Whereas the antidilators medicines, they just protect the phlegm inside only. The nature removes, we have to go along with that. So drinking warm water in the early morning and going outside eliminates a lot of phlegm and makes our lung more healthy. Without fresh air, we feel depressed and gloomy. There is a mental fog. Probably we are in a closed doors where I think we live with an artificial fan and all those things. I think we get bored. We can't concentrate. We feel tired. all this lack of open air. So even in this researches, we have found out maybe Thomas Alva Edison, Raman, like that. Whenever the problem cannot be solved, they just go outside round in a park or garden. They go around for some time and come back. They're able to see the problem solved. So it also gives, this fresh air gives some negative ions so that it can eliminate blockages in the brain also, apart from body. So to further pranayama and deep breathing, yogic practices improve the oxygen supply and detoxification. So the carbon dioxide is eliminated well, the absorption of oxygen improves. This is all proved in the ECG or EEG. Graphically, we can know that. Namaskara Mudra, where we join our hands in front of the chest also. It also has a lot of benefits to us. It balances Ida and Pingala. Of course, some typing errors are there. Ida and Pingala and sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. You just keep your fingers in front of the nose and see which side is more. Sometimes it's only one side is prominent breathing. So do Namaskara Mudra, keep the hands closed for about a minute and see the breathing. The breathing becomes normal. So the right and left hemispheres, right and left our breathing channels, right and left of our body is balanced with this Namaskara Mudra itself. Coming to our food, so it is a vast subject. Now we are feeding for everything, we are concentrating on the food. We have forgotten our air, we have forgotten our sunshine, everything we have forgotten. We are only concentrating on the food. That too, more of these proteins. Nowadays, a century back, people think vegetarian food is a weaker one and non-vegetarian is a stronger one. Over a period of this century and increasing this non-vegetarian, doctors have realized, I think nutritionists have, dietitians have realized that vegetarian is a superior food when compared to the other one. It is also a healthier food. Even in Christians, we say that Seventh-day Adventists stick on to this vegetarian only, and also sometimes the vegans. Their longevity is more, their immunity is better, their health condition is also better when compared to other people. And in nature, so cereals came later. The vegetable and fruits considered to be the primary food, loaded with vitamins and minerals. The nature have loaded all the vitamins and minerals required for us in the leafy vegetables and the fruits. And the fruits, we need not spend much of our digestive energy. We easily get it, especially the vitamin C in the fruits. It's a known component to fight the immunity. Even in this present COVID, I think doctors prescribe only some antibiotic and C vitamin, only the two treatments. So every day taking C vitamin, maybe lemon, maybe oranges, whatever the seasonal one we get it, we get lot of C vitamin. Even Gandhiji prescribed this every day a lemon keeps you very healthy and your immune system is better. The next, we use cereals. Unfortunately, the present diet is very much polished and processed. The whole cereals, we are not using it. Only in case of some millets, we have whole cereals. Otherwise, we can go on polishing it. It removes some of the minerals also. And the fiber also, very important for fiber. Even the toxins reduces our immunity in the body. For elimination of toxins, the cereals fiber is very important. So we advise those people using rice, they should have some red rice with the fiber and also a lot of B complex and other minerals in that. Most of the people nowadays, when they go for a blood test, they found their vitamin B12 and the vitamin D both are lacking. And of course, they go for tablets only, injections. But for vitamin D, we have to go to the sun. And for vitamin B complex, I think we have to go to this whole cereals. And the sprouts, thinking that protein is good, we are using more proteins. I think it's legumes, it is very difficult to digest. So more of protein creates arthritis like that, heaviness, and even these muscles also become hard with more of proteins. In our traditional diet, we use carbohydrate more, proteins less, and less of fat also. But in the modern day, something like an Atkins diet like that, they advise more of protein. But in the coming years, it will have a problem. So, good carbohydrates, protein, that is, we can get from sprouted legumes. The chana, Bengal gram are good. Nowadays, they are going for more of synthetic proteins. But earlier athletes, they used to go for only this Bengal grams, every day taking a handful of Bengal grams soaked in night and taking the morning. That used to give enough protein, digestible protein. Another setback for coconut and ghee, I think for last 2 decades, we are advised not to take coconut and not to take ghee also, because it increases cholesterol. It created a fear, especially in Indians, South Indians, who are using this coconut more and ghee. But now later they have realized it is very good. They protect us from the infections, ghee also, and the coconut also, good fiber and good protein, digestible protein. And it also gives taste. Now, the ghee has to be taken right from beginning to the end. Even old people request ghee. It gives lubrications to the joints and removes the whatever the toxins there. Like that, ghee is advised. And the food what we consume should strengthen us. But unfortunately, the gap from one meal to another meal is reducing with intermittent some feeding now and then. But if you give a good gap, the meal is digested well and absorbed. It goes to nourishment. If the good gap is not given and intermittent feeding is there, I think it becomes an indigestion and also digestive disorders. In spite of all the good things we are taking, our problem of malnutrition continues. So vitamins and minerals, well, sometimes we advise with a lot of vitamin capsules and tablets, and many people are fed up this supplements, vitamin supplements and mineral supplements. But all these things are not properly absorbed in the body. They turn into toxic in the longer run. It reduces our weight also, health also, and increases cardiac problem, according to some articles. So they cannot sustain in the long run. But the minerals, vitamins we obtain from food are more sustainable and even non-toxic also. Even if it is more, the body will eliminate then and there itself. Suppose the greens we say more good. If we take more greens, probably it eliminates in our motions, frequent motions. Like that body then and there, whatever required is absorbed and it is eliminated. On the other hand, the tablets are not eliminated so easily. So they get into liver, they get into kidney and creating problems. And there is a nature, the sun is made up of 7 colors and more of vegetables and fruits. They absorb these 7 colors and each color is rich in some vitamins and minerals. Otherwise, God would have created only the green or one particular color. Why there should be so much of colors in the food? Suppose the orange is red, carrot is red, and the yellow, the mango, and lot of greens are there, and the white vegetables are there. So like that, we find various colors it indicates the various vitamins and minerals. So we cannot go on analyzing which is required, which is not required like that. You go on taking these vitamins and different colors every day so that you can repeat within a week or fortnight, so that all colored foods you consume. so that all the minerals and vitamins in that colors, the body is benefited. So that is, of course, the colors are also made use externally in the chromotherapy in the form of light and cloths and sometimes color charged water, medicines like that. But here, in the food, we can use all these colors. That also again improves our immunity. We can fight against the infections, the foreign bodies. And while taking food should nourish us. Our mind should be calm. We have to think of the food. And even there is some experiments are conducted, some Japan scientists. The prayer changes the structure of the food. They have experimented on the water. They are kept between two persons, the water, in different occasions. When they sing, when they pray, when they quarrel, like that. So they have taken that water and freezed. And in that structure they have studied. So it is an astonishing one. When they, quarrel each other, the structure of the eyes is very distorted, very irregular. When we pray and talk each other in good moods like that, meditation, there is a harmonious structure of the water. This similar happens to the food also. That is why in Indians, even in different communities, we give a lot of respect for the food. But unfortunately, we take outdoor, and this is a missing one. The prayer and calmness and everything missing. And we are in a hurry, we don't chew properly. Without chewing, we don't get excess saliva and digest properly. And also we have to maintain the timing so that the body can generate and the mind can prepare itself for digestion also. It is all these things make the food more beneficial to us. There is Indian spices are more time-tested one for maintenance of health and prevention of infection and others. I think we are using them, the spices, as I said already, the pepper and jeera and turmeric and many spices we use. We have a rutucharya also like that. According to these seasons, we have a rutucharya. The food and cloth, suppose cloth we are aware, in summer we use loose cloths, cotton cloths, in winter, warm cloths like that. But the food also changes in winter and summer in different occasions. To fight these infections or to keep the body in summer cool like that, there are different practices of food regime. So, suppose in winter, rainy season, we go for more of pepper, more of ginger in our food. On the other occasion of this summer, we go for more of yogurt, more of lemon juice, like that. So there are different foods for the different seasons also. Nowadays, I think we are not giving importance for this kind of spices in different seasons. All the time, maybe you go with some bread and coffee like that. We have forgotten this. The kitchen itself, what we call pharmacy in our India. Next. So, any questions, please? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Questions, please.
Madam? Sorry,
Yes, madam. Chat is open.
Dear participants, you please post the questions in the chat box. Sir will clarify your answers.
Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
one question from Vasudha. Namaskaram, sir. Could you tell benefits of black turmeric?
Turmeric. Is it?
Yes, sir. Black turmeric.
turmeric I'm aware. Of course, it is a traditional one for antiseptic one. And we are using it in our kitchen also, even for bathing purpose also, even in puja purpose also. It avoids infections. And even this curcumin is one of the chemical component from this turmeric. They are using for this cancers. All these things, the cancer, and about some 50 years back, we used to consider them as Western diseases. Because in their in culture, this turmeric was not there. And all these diseases were more popular in the Western countries. We are using this turmeric in everyone. For turmeric, how do you prepare this chitrana, what we call lemon rice or something like that, you know? So we heat up the oil. When the oil is heated, we put turmeric. So the turmeric releases its components in the hot oil. They are aware of this. There's a cooking style like that. We use that in the hot oil and we prepare some rice and from that, the lemon rice or something like that. And we are also, the people are applying it for the body also, especially for the ladies on the face they observe, put it so that this has got a hormonal effect. I think they don't get much of the hairs on the face like that. Even in puja and other purposes, we use it, turmeric. So there is an antiseptic one. Even the turmeric, root is banned on the wrist also in the puja purposes so that no infections takes place. Even indirectly, whenever there is a cough and infections, cold and cough like that, the turmeric, we put it in the milk or some kashaya and boil and take it. So they fight the infections. Especially in the COVID, I think because of the name, we are very much bothered. Otherwise, we can treat it as a cold. Even cold lasts for 7 days with medicines or without medicines also. So there is a proverb like that. So for within 7 days, we can get a lot of relief with these spices. The long pepper or the pepper, the turmeric and the ginger. So it is one of the kitchen herb. Every day we have to use it in our day-to-day externally or internally in the food manner. So this is how this turmeric is useful to us. It also gives shining to the skin also. Complexion improves.
Thank you, sir. The next question by Hazel Mary. The intake of food should be taken within what duration to be healthy?
Say, there is a saying, who takes 1 meal a day is a yogi. And who takes 2 meals a day is a bhogi. And who takes 3 meals a day is a rogi. So the 2 meals, if you take it, in 24 hours, roughly you spend about 8 hours for the sleep. Remaining 16 hours, so 2 meals to be taken, there will be a gap of usually 8 hours. In the 8 hours gap, I think what we have taken, it takes about 3-4 hours in the stomach itself to undergo the process of digestion. Then it has to pass through the duodenum and other parts where the other pancreas juices mix up with that. So then it goes to the absorption. It takes another 2 hours. Then the waste matter has to be thrown out to the larger intestines where the extra water and other things are absorbed and solidified. It takes another 2 hours like that. Totally about 6 hours gap is required. If this 8 hours gap is required, if the 8 hours gap you are not able to maintain, in between water to be taken, of course. The liquid food like that, juices, lemon juice, buttermilk, or tender coconut water, like that liquid food be taken. Still people not able to, sustain with this liquid food, they can go for fruits. Palahara we call it. Not just after meals or before meals. It is a separate food to be taken. The fruits and milk can be taken as a third meal if at all you require. Otherwise, 2 meals are enough. And we insist good vegetables portion in the 2 meals. Okay.
Next question, sir.
Yes, madam.
How to increase the melatonin during meditation practice? I saw such.
Melatonin. You mean? Please.
So how meditation increases melatonin? They're asking, sir, from.
So medicine, I think especially the liver is a component for reducing melatonin. The one drawback with us is it works in the night, according to circadian rhythm. The liver and the gallbladder works between the 11 and 3 o'clock. 11 to 1, 1 to 3. These organs work. If you provide rest to the body, even organs like that, senses, everything, the complete rest, they work very well. They produce all melanin, everything okay. The present lifestyle, I think we are keeping awake long time. We don't give rest in the midnight also. Sometimes we keep eating even at 12 o'clock like that. So the livers are not functioning very well. There is a lot of liver problems we are coming across, fatty liver, enlarged fever like that. When in the jaundice also. There is a modern medicine. We don't have a specific medicine for this liver problems, melatonin production. But Ayurveda has got this, that is one product, leaf 52. This melatonin is in the stress also, I think the production affects. The stress also affects. It is an immune deficiency. The immunity is affected, melatonin is also affected. So what all we say, the prayer, the food, the exposure to the sun, good water, all these things are required to have a healthy melatonin. Even this, I have seen some people where the melatonin is less and they have some skin problems. After a continuous, meditation program, there was little change in the skin also. There is a melatonin production increases with the meditation. Of course, the other herbs are, they call it some Kela Nelli like that. Mostly used for, this jaundice. That is also one thing which helps in producing melatonin.
Sir, next question, sir.
Yes.
Which cooking oil for better health? They're asking from Sriram.
Cooking oil. We are experimenting, suppose we want some gingerly oil. Gingerly oil, we get it from 100 rupees or 200 rupees, we get it. 1 liter of gingerly oil. But at home, when you try it with gingerly, it requires about 3 kilos of gingerly to get 1 liter of oil. That means there is an adulteration in most of the oil preparations. Cheaper the oil, more the adulteration. I am told they are mixing with some petroleum products, jelly like that, white oil in most of the cheap oils. So we had to go for organic or some chakki, electronic chakki like that they prepare. Nowadays it's available. I think in a large quantity they prepare. We can get in considerable, maybe some 300 like that. Oils we get it. I think we even in getting the branded oils from market, you go for a cold pressed oil rather than refined, ultra refined, super refined like that. Avoid refined oils. Cold pressed oils are better. And I am told this wheat bran oil, rice bran oil is available now. I think even with the boiling, it doesn't lose its, qualities. Of course, we usually sometimes prepare boiling oil, curries and all those things. The oil becomes rancid very fast. This wheat rice bran oil is considered to be good. And of course, the other oils we get it cold pressed one, the gingerly oil or coconut oil, they are also good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And then
Prem Kumar, sir. Question from Mr. Prem Kumar. Difference between malnutrition and extra nutrition.
Extra nutrition. I mean, as I told you some time back, this pepper, long pepper, among the spices, the jeera, the dhania, these are all spices we use. They are in small quantity because they are stronger. The mint leaves, the coriander leaves or curry leaves, we use in our kitchen. They are all very stronger, medicines, but still digestible in small quantities. So we have to use them. In addition to this natural one, this sun rays or water and other things, prayer, these medicines will hurt indoor. Of course, we are nowadays some Ayurvedic kashayas, Ayush Kada or kashayas have come. I think we can use it that for a good immunity. It's a combination of these things. Even Shatavari, even this, what you call Amritavalli, these are all things available. Even there are rasayanas also, the ready-made rasayanas. We prepare, sometimes in temples we are observing, they are giving this prasada, tirtha, panchamrutam. It's a combination of 5 things. The milk, ghee, and the buttermilk, the curds, and also this plantain. It's a good source of nutrition. And we prepare rasayana also at home, a combination of jaggery and coconut and plantain. That is also rasayana, which can be taken daily. And some Ayurvedic preparations have made the Chavanprash rasayana and Ashwagandha rasayana. They are the very traditional rasayanas to boost our immunity, to maintain good health.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please explain about aromatherapy, sir. Aromatherapy.
Aroma.
Aromatherapy.
So I think some madam asked about the melatonin.
Yes, sir.
This in aromatherapy, geranium aroma, geranium oils, aroma oils are available. They are good for this melatonin products. And recently we tried with some skin infections, eczema and eruptions like that. The aroma for geranium oil, you mix with another blend oil and we just apply and massages. They give good relief for this skin problem. Apart from skin, it induces a lot of relaxation to the mind also, the aromas. And generally, we go for this lavender. We have this concept of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. For all the 3, this lavender is supposed to be a very good one. Lavender aroma oils, we can use it. We can put it into our kerchief or we put it into some application on the oil also. These 2 things found to be very good. Of course, we are not able to get good rose water. It is also good, used in the food also, essence. Food essence, we use it, rose water. But rose water is quite effective. And all these aromas available commercially for a cheaper rate. Roughly, there may be about 300 products. They are all from coal tar, petroleum products. So don't go for commercial and cheaper aroma products. Even in food industry also, they use these aromas. They are very cheaper, but they are all from carbon, petroleum products. And in the long run, they create cancers. Carcinogens are more. Even in this camphor, even the camphor, what we use for puja purpose, it is also aroma creating. It is having a germicidal properties. That is how we use it. We light up mornings and evenings so that the atmosphere becomes free from insects. And earlier we used to have sandal sticks with a lot of aroma materials with that. Nowadays they are not available. Only chemical aroma they use with sandal sticks. Most of the original aroma things are not available, are very expensive. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The last question, how to promote natural immunity? already you have explained.
It is from nature only. Nature, the good food, good environment, the water, sunshine, all these things we have to get it from the nature only. Spend some time in nature, at least weekends, go to the nature, some parks and or some forest like that. Earlier tradition was there. They used to go for some temples which are far away, especially on the hilly area, where we get a good nature. 2-3 days spent in the hilly area and come back, most of our problems solves, most of our infection reduces, most of our health recovers. We say we have gone to the temple, this temple, that temple, it has made good for us, but it is the nature has made you good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Madam, is there any questions, sir, madam? Rest of sometimes. I may not- Yeah. We have completed all the questions. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your elaborating lecture with regard to nature is the immunity booster. Yes, sir. This is the good time to discuss that natural ways to keep our immune system high functioning. So the right time, sir, during the pandemic situation, you have given an elaborated lecture with the content of all the Panchabuddhas covered also, because our immune system helps to keep bacteria, toxins, and viruses at bay and prevent us from getting sick from the diseases they cause. So immune system further help to remove unhealthy or infectious cells from our bodies and regulate the body's response to otherwise harmless activity.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
And vegetarian food is very superior, that is superior, healthier food you have mentioned. That is what our motto, because our principle, one of the principle is a proper diet is under the Sattvic food, that is easily digested, well balanced, healthy food is called vegetarian food. Always we promote. You have mentioned it is the superior as well as a healthier food. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And you have explained cereals, whole cereals is advised because in the polished cereals now we are using, it removes the fiber content, everything in the material. For that reason, we have to use red rice is better. And previously, what happened, ghee and coconut are using, but nowadays, what you have said, we are not using. Yes, sir. Now it is turned up. This is the good product. Nowadays, we have to turn the natural ways of healing everything. So supplements also, if you are taking a supplements tablet form, like vitamins for the minerals, all these things are turned into toxins according to our research-based ethics. Also, you have mentioned some documentation you have, for that reason you have mentioned. So dear participants, instead of taking the vitamins, supplements, mineral supplements, we have to keep body with a healthy, keep our immune system through the fruits and vegetables. Everything is available. Only thing, the organic food is better compared to other food. We have sir has nicely mentioned. Thank you very much, sir. Again, after a long period, we have a very good lecture through your presentation. On behalf of the IQAC of Annamalai University and participants, I thank you once again for the wonderful, very elaborative lecture, sir. That means again, I'm insisting because the participants have reached there, because we have to take we have to take it through the fruits and vegetables, immune our body. That is our motto. You have explained. Definitely participants also satisfied about your lecture also. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, the IQAC also, the Annamalai University and the faculty, and Sushila madam and Venkatachalapati sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for the patient hearing from the audience also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Madam, chat box la pottingla, madam. Feedback link.
Yes,
Sir,
madam. Yes, madam.
Dr. Venkatachalapati sir is now giving thanks to sir, I think. Sir? Venkatachalapati sir?
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you.
As a very nice, sir. Very nice explanations and a very nice class. It is very useful to our your present yogis and future yogis. On behalf of the Center for Yoga Studies and Annamalai University and IQAC, we are thanking and asking for you, sir. A wonderful lecture. Thank you very much, sir.
There is some hurriedly typed, there was some typographical errors. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Thank you
Nothing,
very
sir.
much.
Nothing.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nothing, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Madam, sir, if you have a PPT, because participants as a put, they need a PPT. If available, please send it to me, sir. I will send.
Okay, madam. I will just correct some typographical errors and send you.
No issue, sir. You send after 1 or 2 days, no problem.
Okay,
We
madam.
will send it to all the participants, but it will be
Thank you very much.
immensely useful for this program, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you
you,
for accepting our invitation also, sir.
Thank
Thank you, Director, sir. Director.
Thank you, Sushila madam, Sai Leela madam, and Jayaprakash sir for organizing a wonderful way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.